Now to use for the quadratic formula, let's try to recap. The formula here is x equals to minus b plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, we'll use the same equation from the one before, and that would be x squared minus 4x plus 1 equivalent to 0. What you need to do, very important, importante, okay, people, is that you have to write down your coefficients a, b, and also c. So a here would be 1, because if we're looking at this, x squared would definitely give you as just 1 on its own. Okay, and then we have b, which is minus 4, very good. C is, thank you very much. Alright, and all we need to do in this case is just to substitute your values of a, b, and c into the quadratic formula. So if we have x equivalent to, have a look at minus b. Minus b will give you minus 4. Please do not forget, this is a booby trap. Alright, this is a booby trap. If they have minus b here, remember that the b value is a negative value. So when a negative value goes with a negative value, it becomes a positive value. Okay, plus minus square root of b squared. Again, be very careful. Minus 4 squared minus 4 times 1 divided by 2 times 1. Okay, so you're at this stage here. Okay, minus and minus gives you positive, plus minus 4 squared will give you 16, thank you. Minus 4 times 1 will give you 4, and you divide it by 2. Okay, so now what we need to do is this. You have 4 plus minus square root of 12 divided by 2. Okay, some of you might ask me, Mr. O, is it sufficient if we can just leave it here? Have a look first. Can 4 be divided by 2? Yes, it can. So 2 plus minus, of course this would be a half, which would be square root of 12 over 2. And sometimes you might forget that this third form here can be simplified. Alright, so what sort of numbers will give you 12? 2 and 6, and the other would be 3 and 4. Now, having looked at these numbers here, which number do you reckon can just be, sorry? 3 and 4. So 3 and 4, because a square root of 4 will give you 2. Okay? So that will be 2 plus minus square root of 4 multiplied by square root of 3. Here you have to know your content of your third forms, and you divide it by 2. And of course, 2 plus minus 2 multiplied by square root 3 divided by 2. Okay, so again, this is cancelled out. Okay, and what you're left with here is 2 plus minus square root 3. Okay, if we compare it with completing the square, both will give you the same answers. But again, it depends on which sort of method you want to use. Okay, if you're not confident with completing the square, then don't complete the square. If you're not confident using quadratic formula as a method, don't use it. Any questions so far? Are you feeling a little bit much better with this topic now? Okay, now in terms of problem solving, it's the same thing. Read the questions properly, write it out, find the unknown, and of course, if you need to draw the diagram, draw it, because that will help you. Alright, and you know some of the basic techniques. And sometimes in a problem, you need to use factorization, and solving it using factorization, you need to use the quadratic formula, or you have to complete the square. Alright, so which one that you think you're more confident with, use it. Okay? All good so far?